Greetings. My name is Mario Harris, and I'm the host of Building Minds, BuildsCommunities Podcast. And today we have with us Mr. Mykal Zangwill. And he's going to share his heart and his vision about family, about business, about community. So without further ado, I introduce to you all Mr. Mykal Zangwill.
Thanks, Mario. Really appreciate it. We only met just a couple of days ago, and here we are hanging out on a recorded conversation. So I appreciate you inviting me after just meeting me for a few minutes there.
Yes, you and your business recently helped us back in 2021, November, to be exact, when we did our first annual charity golf tournament. So I really appreciate the support that you provided for us. And when I passed out those certificates, people were excited about it. Oh, frozen, yeah, okay. So they was really excited about it. A lot of people like FuzzyPeach, and we want to make sure that, with MENAC Incorporated, as a mentoring organization, we want to highlight business people. We want to highlight people that are doing something in the community where they're volunteering their time, they're teaching, they're business owners. Business owners provide jobs, which also helps the income in the county of Oslo. So we definitely want to highlight people that's doing great things, and especially our young entrepreneurs. That's very important to me. I love youth and I love young adults. I love all people, but the youth and young adults is where my heart is at. So let's talk about your first name, Mykal, Mykal.
Yeah, it's a super unique spelling. Growing up as elementary, middle school, high school, I dreaded the first day of school, substitute teacher days, because they were going to mispronounce it 100% guaranteed. Like there was no chance they were going to get it right. But I'm named after my grandfather, who passed away when my father was just 5-6 years old. But I also have a cousin named Michael, so they wanted to spell it a little differently, and then that kind of caught on with my brother. So I have a brother, Nicholas. He spells his name Nikolas, so no CH. And then I have a brother, Justin, who spells it with Justyn instead of IN. So it kind of started with me and getting a unique spelling, so it wasn't exactly like my cousin. Different last name for him, but it just kind of continued through. So just something unique about us, that we all have an unusual spelling or a little bit different spelling name. But now as an adult, it's a great conversation point. It's something people don't pick on me for anymore or make fun of. They're interested in hearing more about it, and they appreciate the uniqueness of it. So it's been quite the journey with that spelling.
Yeah, and I like that because, like I said, it's very unique. So where are you originally from?
So I was born and raised, well, I wasn't born. I was raised in the Poconos, Northeast Pennsylvania, elementary, middle school, high school. And then when I graduated high school, I attended Westchester University of Pennsylvania. So it's a suburban Philadelphia school. It's a state school. And I lived out there for 4 years during college. And then I lived in the suburban Philadelphia area for another 3 years before moving to North Carolina. So I was Pennsylvania all the way through from the age of 3 or 4 all the way up until like 23, 24. So the bulk of my life was spent in the cold winters of Pennsylvania. So I appreciate the climate here much, much more.
Yes, and I'm intimately familiar with Pennsylvania, Delaware County to be specific. I had the wonderful pleasure of serving 3.5 years at the General Smedley D. Butler Reserve Center.
I'm familiar with Delco.
Yeah, exit 9, right before the Philadelphia airport.
Yeah.
So I was there.
One of my
go ahead.
One of my best friends from college lives in Springfield, Pennsylvania, in Delaware County.
Okay. Yeah, I was there from 2003 to the summer of 2006.
So we actually overlapped in that region a little bit.
Okay. And I did funerals in Westchester.
Really?
Yes.
Westchester's a beautiful city. town,
Yes,
really.
yes, it is. Yes, it is. So we, that was one of our duties, being in the actual, the way they identify the unit is inspector, instructor. So we instructed and we inspected the reservists that we supported in that area. And we also did funerals. So Westchester, that was our region. The location of our unit, it enabled us to do funerals in Delaware, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey.
Yep.
So we would go out to Egg Harbor.
You're close. You're right there by I-95, Delaware. I would go into Delaware when I was in college because they had the tax-free shopping. So Christmas, right, I just hop over to Delaware, hit up that tax-free shopping. And it's close to a lot of different areas. And within just a few minutes, you're in a different world or something very, very similar. It's a unique spot.
Yes. And I have a lot of family in Delaware. In fact, that's where we choose to live at. So I live right there off of Naaman's Road for about a year and a half before my wife and kids came up. Our oldest son, he was in his senior year in high school here. So, we didn't want to move him and the rest of the kids at the time. My sister lives in Wilmington, Delaware. And then I have nieces and nephews there as well, and some other cousins. I got a cousin named Gary. He's a chef there, and some other family members. And then if you go up in the Pennsylvania and the New Jersey area, my cousin Nate and my Pat and other different people up there. But it was a culture shock for me because I'm from Mobile, Alabama.
I could see that for sure.
Yeah. Cold
I could
weather,
see that for sure.
A lot of traffic. The cost of living was a little higher, but I really enjoyed it. And my father-in-law lives in North Philly, Mr. James Salvin. And so we love going up and visiting pops and other family members in that area. And we got, brother-in-law and niece and some other family up there on my wife's side. So let's get into this Westchester University.
Yeah, it was just a Pennsylvania State school. Went there for 4 years. 4 of my closest friends, I met them on the dorm room floor when I was a freshman. And they were in my wedding. I was in their weddings. It was a great experience. I studied health and physical education. The plan was to become a health and physical education teacher, which I did for 3 years after graduation. I had a great experience there. I learned a lot. One of the most valuable things that translates today, and I explain this to all my staff, is I did campus tours for 3.5 years. So all the people that were interested in the university, new students during their orientations, I would take them on campus tours. And I got real comfortable speaking in front of people real quickly. It was a great opportunity for me to learn how to speak to the helicopter parent, the parent that didn't care, the kid that didn't care, the kid that was, very different than me from a, personality standpoint, major, whatever it may be. I had to figure out how to connect with those folks and get them interested in the university, because a lot of times it was before they had even decided to going. So I'm like kind of selling them on the university and making sure I'm highlighting things that are relative to them and make sure they have a great experience. And then I had an opportunity to speak at the new student welcome day. So there was a couple thousand people. I got to speak on my experience there. That was a little tougher than the campus tours, but I learned a ton there just from that responsibility. I was had a leadership position with them. I was the president of that organization for 2 years, but it gave me a great growth in speaking with people, which carries over today. Like, I don't care who walks in here. I'll talk to anybody. Grocery store, doesn't matter. I can talk to them all, find a way to connect with them. So I had a great experience. And then I taught for 3 years in suburban Philadelphia, Methacton School District. I taught 5th and 6th grade health and phys ed, and I was the assistant basketball coach at the high school, which was a really unique opportunity for me. I was 22 years old, coaching 17, 18-year-old high schoolers. They all trying to figure out how old I was. They didn't tell them because that would hurt some of my credibility, being so close in age. But yeah, I did that for 3 years, coached some high-level players, coached against some high-level players. We had some great success for a school that didn't have a lot of success. And I got to coach under a gentleman, Jeff Durstein, who had some college experience, but had decided to coach high school again. And he was a great leader. He was great for young people, and he was great for me because I was still a super young person at the time, 22, 23. He taught in the same subject area as I did. And it really helped shape my view on how to coach people and teach people. And I still feel like I'm a teacher today.
Yes. Yes, you are, because you've made an impact on my current intern, Miss Kara James. And
yeah, she worked for us. I think it might have been her first job or maybe just her second job. But she worked for us for, I think, a little over a year before she headed off to college. And she was a pleasure to have here, I'll tell you.
Yes, because we are definitely enjoying the work that she is doing with MENAC. She's taking care of some things, whether it be on social media or, foundation and human resource stuff that, probably wouldn't happen for another six to 12 months. So we're definitely grateful and appreciative of what she's doing with us. So FuzzyPeach, the name and the background behind it.
Yeah, for sure. So FuzzyPeach it's a self-serve frozen yogurt bar. There used to be a couple others in town. Over the years, they've kind of not stayed around. But we've been here since 2015. My family has a store in Cape Carteret, which is Carteret County, right outside Emerald Isle. Since we're actually coming up on 10 years next month at the end of August. And there's nothing else like it in the area. It's self-serve, so you make everything yourself, 10 flavors, over 40 toppings. So customers, they do all the bulk of the work in terms of making the dessert or treat or snack or lunch in some cases, dinner in others. And you can make it however you want. We don't care what you get. And at the very end, we charge you by the weight. So if someone wants to spend, $1, they can spend $1. It's all good. If they want to spend, much more than that, I'd love that too. But it's a unique experience, unlike anyone else. I know there's some cool places in town, whether it be dessert, shakes, smoothies, but no one allows customers to make it themselves. And like I said, we got involved with that in 2012. One of my friends from college, Tom, after he graduated from college, he got a job working for the guys who started FuzzyPeach in Wilmington. So FuzzyPeach is a franchise, but we're locally owned and operated. If you come into the store Monday through Friday, during the daytime, I'm definitely here. If I'm here at night, there's a good chance you might catch me too. I was just here on Friday night after I worked all day. I had to come back and help and bring some stuff by. But we live in the area, and my father actually works in the Cape Carteret store 4 to 5 days a week. He puts in 80 plus hours a week as a 69-year-old man, third career. But we got involved with it through my friend Tom. He was running the 5 company stores that the original founders had created, and they were getting ready to franchise. So their focus had shifted from day-to-day grinding in the store, cleaning machines, prepping, helping customers, to getting the franchise operations up and running. And through him, I was looking for a career change. I had been teaching in the school system for 3 years. I was ready for something different. And I was telling my dad about it. He's like, we should look into that. So next thing I know, he's in Wilmington with my mom, Wilmington, North Carolina. And it was a great opportunity. I've been going to frozen yogurt bars for a while. The one by my house, they knew me. I was there 2 to 3 times a week with my wife. We loved it. And the stores down there were doing well. It was kind of during the new boom of frozen yogurt bars where they were popping up everywhere. And they had a fun logo, fun name, FuzzyPeach. And these guys that started, they had a good vision for being a local business, even though you're a franchise, but being a local business. And we weren't locals, but now we are. We've been there 10 plus, almost 10 years. So we feel ingrained in the community, and we've worked hard to make ourselves part of the community. But those guys have since sold off their franchising part to a bigger company. But we're still the same. We're the same owners. We do things the same way we've always done them. Well, not necessarily the same way, but in terms of the basic operation, we try to be local businesses, and we are a local business. We like MENAC and the schools. We support them through fundraisers and donations. I'd be happy to talk more about that, but yeah, it's been a great business for us. It's fun and exciting. We get to work with people who are generally coming in to be happy, and they leave usually, in most cases, a little happier than when they walked in. But we get to provide them a really great experience in, they're not waiting, they're not ordering, they get to come in, do their thing, enjoy it, and it can be quick, but no one feels rushed. It's a really, really, if you haven't tried it, it's an experience like nothing else in the area.
Okay, thank you, and congratulations on y'all success. What I've learned and from what I've been taught going through business school is that if you can get past that first year and then that fifth year, you're definitely on your road to success, which you and your family definitely are, and y'all doing great things in the community. So we've heard your heart. Now, if you don't mind, if it wouldn't be too much, give us a glimpse of your vision for the future.
So just to tail on what you just said, and I'll follow up with it, is the first year was real hard for us. And the second year and the third year, by the third year we had opened the Jacksonville store. So before we quite had it all figured out and all our systems working to a way that was really set up for success, we opened a second store, which is kind of crazy. But by the year 5 for both stores, at that point, that's when things really started to turn for us. So now we're finally at a point where we're hitting sales numbers we expected. Our margins are there. We know what we have to do. It's just executing it at a high level every day. So my vision for the future is to keep growing within the business. Everyone asks, "Oh, can you put a store in Sneads Ferry? Can you put one in New Bern? Can you put one here?" And frozen yogurt stores are more costly to build out than a traditional ice cream store because of the soft serve machines. They're very expensive. So it's not that we couldn't open another one now. It's just that I like to touch the store on a daily basis or near every other day, no more than 2 days gone. I try to take the weekends off as much as possible. And we have a big staff now that covers those for me. But to grow the store to the sales volume where I can step back more and not work as much in the business, but still be involved with it day to day, but also increasing our wages. We've increased wages the last few years, but increase them more with the sales, more hours, build in more leadership roles, and grow within. And then once I've have that opportunity where I'm not working a daytime shift or a nighttime shift, that's when I'd like to open future stores. But like I said, I'm not eager to do that. I'm eager to build within here because I know how many people live here and I know how many people come in, and the numbers don't match up. So I know there's still a lot of room for us to grow and serve more people. We have the capacity to serve more people. And as we serve more people, then I could do more things in the community. Like we just gave out this past school year between Carteret and Onslow County, 15,000 coupons for free frozen yogurt to the schools. They didn't have to do anything. I actually had to harass some of the schools to take the coupon. I'm like, no, I'm trying to give. You don't have to buy nothing. You don't have to do it. Just take them. Use them how you want. If you want to give them to teachers as a reward, like the kids can use them if they read so many books or good behavior or MET. I don't care what you use them for. I just want to give you guys an extra tool in your toolbox that you can use to motivate the kids or reward the kids for working hard or doing well or whatever it may be. And we handed out, this is our second year doing it. The first year I only did 10,000 cards only. I did 10,000 cards and I think we could do more. So we did 15,000. And this year, my local printer, he's not going to be thrilled. I'm about to up it to 20,000 because I didn't get every kid that I wanted to. So I want to be able to do more things like that and be able to afford the discount. That equated to thousands and thousands of dollars in free product. And I can't do that kind of thing unless we're hitting our sales on other days, we're having good profit, I'm operating smoothly and being smart with our money in other areas of the business so that I can afford to give away thousands and thousands. When I ran it was a staggering number, which is great. I'm happy it worked. It was an effective program. We had over, I'm trying to think, I think it was like 2,000 or 3,000 kids ended up redeeming that coupon. So we were able to bring in a lot of people to the store, but also get kids an opportunity. That's all they bought. Their mom and dad didn't always buy something. They got their $3 worth and they left, and maybe they came back, maybe they didn't, but at least I got to give them that. and they were able to be rewarded. So we were happy to do that. But that's kind of my vision for it, being able to do more donations, more giveaways where, it costs us money, but the cost is well worth it. So that's kind of where I want to go with things.
Okay. And also what I have learned is that a for-profit business or a non-profit business, as in FuzzyPeach, you're offering and selling something that people have a desire for, right? So that's going to get them in the store. But your personality, the personality of your employees, the atmosphere is what's going to keep them coming back. And also it will foster free advertisement for you by word of mouth. It's like with me. So, we're here to mentor youth and young adults from ages 12 to 30 years old. We're here to be a resource for people in the community. I get phone calls about different things that we don't do, but I direct them to someone or agency that does. So it's the personality of the owners or the person that founded the organization that will keep people, that people will continue to do business with you. And like I said, with your personality, you got a great personality. We got a chance to talk last week, and like I said, and Kara, she had, nothing but great things to say about you. So I know that your heart is in the right place. You're gonna continue to do the great things that you're doing, and I pray that y'all have abundance of success.
Well, I appreciate it. And you're 100% right. Finding the right people to be an extension of your business and represent you, whether it be a nonprofit, finding the right people like Kara to represent you in whatever way she is, that builds on your brand. It builds on your opportunities. I'm here a lot, but I'm not here all the time. I can't be. It's not fair to my family. It's not fair to my kids, my wife. It's not fair to me to be here, 7 days a week. We're open from 11:30 to 9 or 10, but the work, I got here at 8 o'clock this morning. Tomorrow I'll be here at 5 a.m. cleaning yogurt machines with my dad. So that's a long day. To do that every day, I'm not going to be good with my customers. I might be short with my staff, and that's not fair to anyone. So finding the right people, which sometimes it works out better than others. It's a little bit hard at times, but right now, this past few months, we found people that, can reach a certain level of work and personality that make for a great experience. And it's hard to find people, but it's something that we're always looking for, is people that can represent us well and just be positives when we're not here and when we are here.
That's right. So if you can tell us where your location is at in Cape Carteret.
Yeah, so it's right off Highway 24. So if you know where Emerald Isle is, we're just past that in a Lowe's Food Shopping Center. It's a growing area, but it's, like I said, next to Lowe's Food, Cape Carteret. It's a small little town. You probably missed the sign driving through, but it's basically between Jacksonville and Morehead City. So we like that location a lot. It's, people are like, oh, you should be on Emerald Isle, but we get the best of both worlds. We get the local community of Cape Carteret, and we get the benefit of the tourism that Emerald Isle draws, because there's so many people that go there. There's plenty of room for everyone to benefit from. So we get people willing to drive back over the Emerald Isle Bridge to visit us. We get people, we see them once a year. Every year we're going to see them, and we may not remember them exactly, but they tell it. They're not shy about saying, like, oh, we make sure we come here every year. We're only going to see them once a year, but we'll happily have them anytime. But it's we've been there, like I said, 10 years. And then Jacksonville here is on Western Boulevard. I think it's one of the best locations in Jacksonville. A little tough for parking at times because our neighboring businesses are also very successful. So it creates a good problem, so to speak. But it's a great location, easy to get in and out of the shopping center, easy to see from the road. And it's been good to us. We're happy to be here, and we have several 5-year renewals coming up that we're excited to activate.
That is awesome. And like I said, I know that you're going to do bigger and better things, you know, because of your personality and your understanding. And like I said, looking back on your bio when it comes to teaching fifth and sixth grade, and then teaching high school, high school boys in the area of basketball, which is, basketball is my favorite sport. I like it's I mean, I love that, especially when it comes to youth and young adult. I've coached um, for some years. Our youngest son has just finished his last year of eligibility as a college basketball player in California. And
That's
our
awesome.
granddaughter, she plays now for Cape Fear Community College. So we're looking forward to seeing her this upcoming year on the court. Because one thing about my wife and I, we support our children and our granddaughter and our godchildren as well. So we're all about family, because I really like what you and your father are doing, you and your family are doing. And that's something that our son and our daughter, we've been talking about, building a family business, or actually building a family legacy, because both of us are going to have, great grandchildren, and henceforth that we're never going to meet, or might not meet, right? But we want to make sure that we have a solid foundation that they can build from. That if they do want to go to college, they can go to college, and
That's right.
not having money is not a hindrance, right?
That's
Or
right.
if they want to join the military, whatever they want to do, that they will be successful. So, um, yeah, I definitely love what y'all doing out there, and I'm gonna offer you the opportunity when your schedule permits, when school comes back in session. If you would like to come out and speak with the high school students that we have, you're more than welcome. And it don't, it can be once a
No, for
quarter, or
sure.
whatever frequency that you're able to do. But because the thing about it, teenagers, they relate more to someone that looks closer to their age, right?
I appreciate you saying, look.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, because you do. I mean, I don't know your age, but I do know this. Um, you're very poised. You're very
Thank
poised, and
you.
you're very professional. Because while we were, at the event last week, I was like, and then how you asked the question, to the speaker that was there, and I was like, yeah, we can definitely do something with him. Yeah, we can
Appreciate
definitely work
it.
with him, because, like I said, youth and young adults, we're all about that. We want to make society
Yeah.
a better place. And the only way that we can do that, if we work with the youth and young adults, letting them know that they are special and they're valuable and they can do some great things. I'm not going to say the old cliche that you can be whatever you want, because that's a lie. And
Agree.
some people going to disagree, and it's okay. Because I can tell you right
I
now, I can't be a doctor. I can't be a doctor. And there's some other things that I can't do, but that's fine. But I know what I'm supposed to do. I know what my purpose is, and that's mentoring youth and young adults, inspiring people, motivating people, leading people. So I like to look at life through the lenses of reality. Everyone can't be a business owner. They can't.
no.
But you got people
I
that are business consultants, right?
Yeah, I agree with it. We hire all ages, but we do skew teenage to young 18, 19, 20, students. A lot of students work for us. And we've had older people, and they worked out great, and it's a good part-time job for a lot of them. But working with the teenagers, a lot of them, it's their first job. So they need to understand the time management of, well, here's how scheduling works. I got to communicate to my family when I'm supposed to work and when the schedule comes out. So mom doesn't schedule something for me with grandma or out of town. And now I'm put in a position where I got to tell work that I can't work, or I tell mom I can't go, or, I try to teach them how to avoid those situations through good communication. And I mean, we just started hiring kids that are as young as 15, giving them the opportunity. Some quite literally can't count change yet. So teaching them like I'm a trained teacher. So it was a fun, I wouldn't necessarily say fun, but it was a different opportunity to teach. I've never taught anyone how to literally count 25, 10, 5, like making that change, even though the computer tells them, figuring out how to do it in a way that makes sense for the customer. You know, you're not giving them all these dimes when you could be given quarters, and doing it, thinking about things in an efficient way, an effective way. You know, when I'm not here, it's my team workers, 2, 3 of them at a time. They're collectively working the store as a unit with, you know, no one's in charge of each other. They just have to use good old-fashioned teamwork and good old-fashioned good communication to figure out what needs to get done through training. We have an extensive training program that teaches everyone exactly what needs to be done and how to do it. But figuring that out with different personalities, which is life, you know, working with different people who different backgrounds, similar backgrounds, different, you know, who's more talkative, who's less talkative, who brings the energy, who rather be in the kitchen, but figuring out a way to work together to serve hundreds of people a day, that's hard, but it's a valuable skill that they leave here working. And a lot of times, if you can work a busy Saturday night here, you can work in a lot of different other places with a lot of success, because you're learning the important things of problem solving, communication, teamwork. You figure that out, you'll be just fine anywhere you work. You can work in any industry, and using those tools that you've built when you're 15, 16, 17, you'll be just fine as an adult in your 20s, your 30s, and beyond. And it's fun. It's a lot of different personalities. That's one of the things I got from coaching and playing basketball was, you know, you can't coach everyone the same way. I had a high school coach, you know, the way he spoke to me was very different than the way he spoke to some of the other kids. He knew, you know, with me, I wasn't going to respond to him digging into me and chewing me out. He just needed to tell me what needed to get done, and I was going to go do it the best of my ability. Other kids, he'd have to get in their ear and chew them out, and they, yes, coach, yes, sir, and they'd go out there and ball out. But they wouldn't respond in other ways. So that was one of the things I learned through coaching, was not everyone could be coached the same way. So I know when I talk to some workers, you know, I got to approach it differently. I got to be a little softer. Other ones, I got to come in a little more stern, because that's how their pops is. You know, their dad's military. So like, that's how they've been raised, and that's the only way they're really going to get going. Others are the opposite. Pops or moms are real hard on them. So I got to be a lot softer, because that's how they get it at home. So just trying to learn their personalities and their uprising to be able to make sure they're having a successful work experience, because it's just a part-time job for them. This isn't the priority for all of them. This is the extra. This is Chick-fil-A money for a lot of them, or gas money. And but just giving them those basic skills that are going to translate to someone like Kara. Like, not that I taught her everything she knows, but I know she learned things here that carry over into helping your organization. So that brings me a lot of happiness to hear that she's translating some of the skills she learned and her experiences dealing with people into a totally different field of nonprofit work. So that's awesome.
Yes. So, Mr. Mykal Zangwill, I want to thank you for coming on Building Minds, Build Community Podcast today, and I look forward to working with you on many different levels while we're both here in this area. And, you know, things could change and we don't know, but definitely want to continue to work with you, because I can see the light that's inside of you. I can see the vigor, and I can see the dedication. I love what you and your family, you know, your dad are doing together, and your wife and your kids, building for the legacy of the Zangwill family, and how you donate different things to the community, the schools. That's great. That's great work, you know. And you know, you can't come down off the wall, because you're doing great work, and that's what you're supposed to be doing. That's what we're supposed to be doing as a community. So I want to thank you again. And like I said, I look forward to working with you. And as you view this, thank you all for watching Building Minds, Build Community Podcast. I'm the host, Mario Harris. Have a great day.
Thanks, Mario. Appreciate the opportunity.